Normally when I do a news video about something that is pretty universally seen as bad news, or at the very least bittersweet news, I try to open with some kind of gag, some kind of like, it's not as dark as it all seems, but I just can't help but feel really bummed out today because I just saw the news that Bungie is being absorbed into PlayStation Studios. One of the most expensive acquisitions in gaming history was when Sony bought Bungie, and when they bought Bungie, it was all done under the notion of independence, that basically Sony would be paying the bills for Bungie, but Bungie would operate with complete independence. They would get to do whatever they wanted, handle their games however they wanted, and despite being owned by Sony, Sony would be almost entirely hands-off with the projects that they had and the way that they were managed in return for a share of the profits, which seemed like if you were going to do some kind of corporate ownership, some kind of big AAA ownership, that really did seem like the best case scenario for a developer. But then ever since then, Bungie just seems to have been completely shitting the bed in every possible way. They are mismanaged to a comical degree, and I know there was mismanagement in Bungie before they were bought by Sony. Bungie headquarters has not been an effectively led or properly governed building for a long time now, and I really don't know what happened, but I just can't help but feel bummed out about the whole thing, because even though I'm not someone who was ever really into Destiny, or I had no interest in Marathon, and apparently neither did the rest of the internet, but I love Bungie's Halo games. Bungie's Halo games were a big part of why I even became a gamer in the first place. And it's been absolutely heartbreaking to watch them fall apart. And I said earlier that this was bittersweet news. I don't think that was really what I meant. I think more what I meant was writing on the wall news. News that everyone knew was coming, and everyone knew deep down was going to happen. Because of how ridiculously mismanaged Bungie has been, because of how much money they have absolutely burned during the development of Marathon, which is a game that we now have no idea where it actually is. We have no idea when it's coming out. I think what I'm getting at is that everyone knew something had to change at Bungie. If Bungie was ever going to be a successful studio again, something had to change. But what I really was hoping would not happen, what I was hoping the change would not be, is this. Bungie is being absorbed into PlayStation Studios, and it seems like Sony is over giving them independence. In fact, the wording that was used in this announcement was rather disheartening. Quote, Bungie is shifting into a role which is becoming more of a part of PlayStation Studios, and integration is also proceeding. So in the long term, if you can see this as an ongoing process, the direction is to become part of PlayStation Studios. Because that's what the gaming industry needs right now. We need even more studios being sucked up by these giant conglomerations, these giant developer pools. And I'm sorry if I'm not being very funny today, but I guess this video was more for completionist's sake, because I've been doing a lot of videos covering Marathon, or at least I was, until Marathon just disappeared off the face of the earth, to the point that now it doesn't even seem like Bungie knows where the fuck it is. And throughout those videos, I kept saying that Bungie was going to look different if this game flopped, that if this game did not do extremely well, which nobody expected it to, but once the failure was complete of Marathon, then there was absolutely no way the company was going to look the same that it did during development. And I guess now we have our answer as to what the difference is going to look like. Bungie is losing its independence, Bungie is being sucked up by PlayStation Studios, and they are now going to be much more subject to Sony's management. Which, if Sony's management of their studios recently is anything to go by, I really don't know how much better that's going to make things. I mean, it's not like Sony's been doing a stellar job managing their studios over the last, 5-10 years. Sure, they have big hits that come out every now and again, but this is the same studio that allowed Naughty Dog to waste how many years and how many millions of dollars on a multiplayer game that never saw the light of day, and that was just canceled out of the blue, like there was nothing, like there was no big deal. This is the same PlayStation Studios that canceled Insomniac's multiplayer Spider-Man game, and canceled the Twisted Metal game, and canceled a God of War multiplayer game. That's not me saying I wanted a God of War multiplayer game, but it at least would have been something that wasn't Concord or Marathon. What I'm getting at is that Bungie was one of the last bastions of independence in the AAA industry, I guess, and they are now seemingly going to be subject to the management of PlayStation Studios, which is a corporation that has shown many times over the last 5 to 10 years to have absolutely no creative ambitions anymore. They have no interest in doing original, unique things anymore. They have no interest really in listening to what people want anymore. They just want the safest, broad appeal shit imaginable, stuff that'll get them lots of Game of the Year awards, lots of nominations at the Game Awards every year, are things made to appeal to non-gamers and people who want to just look at pretty graphics and very easily digestible stories with easily digestible gameplay loops. And it's just such a bummer to me to see Bungie now being subjected to stuff like this, presumably. I really don't know what other outcome there is. If PlayStation Studios is now pulling the reins and saying that you no longer have your independence, you are now part of PlayStation Studios, I really don't know how else to read that other than they're just going to be part of the equation now. Bungie is just going to be part of Sony's corporate conveyor belt. And it's like I said earlier, it's just strange because we all knew something had to change with Bungie. The way Bungie was going was absolutely not sustainable. But is this really going to make things better? Sure, it might get Bungie's development back on track. Maybe Bungie will be putting out games at a more regular pace. But are they really the kind of things that we want Bungie to be doing? I'm reminded of Treyarch before they were absorbed by Activision and put into the Call of Duty studios. Treyarch used to make a lot of really interesting games. They used to have a really wide variety of games and projects they were working on. But ever since they were put into the Call of Duty cycle, it's all they do now. And it's hard not to think about what they could have been working on and what they could have come up with had they not been sucked up into that cycle. And I know Bungie really hasn't been Bungie for a long time, but that doesn't mean I don't love and have for like eternal memories with the stuff that they did work on. And even though Marathon was looking like a complete mess from start to finish, I can't be the only one who was thinking that it would at least be successful enough, or maybe once they were done focusing on Marathon, that eventually, once their schedule was clear, once the corruption was weeded out, Bungie would go back to being Bungie again. But with this announcement, it just seems like that's no longer even possible. I would love to be optimistic about things, but I just don't feel like I can be. So, sorry to be a bummer today, but it just felt right to at least... For no other reason than completionist's sake, then there's the end of the Marathon cycle. That's how the story ends, I guess. Oh well. Doofus Club time. F. Coppola, Showbiz, NCNA, Chris Void, Vast Dennis, Joel K. Find the jet ski and the Mo, please help with game with it. People Biscuit 1101, Vendetta Audrey, Max Killer V2 Gaming, Stellar Route, Muskie, Cowboard 789, Omega Big Fudge, Devastator 2000, Dick Hardpeck, One Man Savage, I'd be with the fucking pistol grip, Wings of Redemption, Klepto Penguin, a Judger 6, Mil, Theme the Beast, 7 Cobra Lizard, Oracle, the Return of the King, Is Upside Down, Pedro Pascal's Left Hand, Nate, Blast 1314, Jimmy Chops, I made a PC Gamer, Joe, Apologize to Your Wife, Michael Musial, Master Killer, Firestorm 2056, Demetrius Papagiorno, Tom Strolaxon, Bubbic, Pewter, Unknown to 1867. 18, Kev Dog 1992, Zombie Killer 5072, Official Drags, Monica, Erica, Rita, Tina, Sandra, Mary, Jessica's Lover, Bear Brain, Apian 504, Grimsy, Ed Shadow Bear 1789, The One That's Empty, and I Don't Know Why, Kushkun, Unicorn, Rocco, Better Fondue, Help Step, Joe, I'm stuck in the moat, Wakey Face, I just can't do it, I can't take this shit no more, man, Wings, T-Train, Riser, Sensen Nikage, and Envola, I lied, I didn't forget to change my name, Partial Main 8, Volksauto, Codman 4372WX, I need a stupid name for Joe to read out live, I want to see, Gold Pyrac, All Arthur 1, Shitty Titties, I read my wood in your biddies, Doug, Nixie, Smile, Snake Eyes 327, I changed my name to back to Game Award 72, MK2396E, Xbox on a Gamma, Hand Thigh, I went out of order, Elite Fire Hazard 105, Ask the Wolf, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle John, Slim Jim, Collective Stick Up Bum, Joe Chat Me Emote, Hashtag Ban JTech, Gay Local Adult with Autism, PC Gamer, Rob Father Rat King, Jessica Shepherd, Riki's, Riki Spell, Riki Tabby, we don't, oh my goodness, we need to sign a petition for a second moat, it needs company. Crew the Steel Angel, I'll find JTech and live in his walls until his PS5 dies, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron von Vonahom, Cyrus 6771, don't call me Doofus, it hurts my feelings, 2, Texican 940, you haven't helped me out of the moat and you're laughing, Joe, Creed Warrior 23, Max Chevson, Lead the Chapter, Lane Sandy, Black Over the Animal Slayer, Night of Cyber, Email 04, I have 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, Wolf of Midnight, Stig Rider, Pig, Beanie, Steven, Studios, Film, Kraken, Omen, Gaming Tree, Brown Thorns, Skated Mag, and X, Everest, 103, it's a Calendar for Why Makes a Pow Pow, White Trouble, Donnie, West Naked, Donnie, Jarvis, Mex on Twitch, Come Handy, All, Gob Goss, and Rogue Winter, 19, Bobby Handy, Kitten, Fanny, Hangman for Hire, Ellen Noble, Frost Crystal, Biogenesis, Ian Action, Floppy Pinkus, 97, Mega Q, Skivis, Go Go, So, Rias, Augie, Vasco, After Tim, Amos F, 97, 94, Blue Hook, Film Tip, JTech TV should get Venoms 9 inches, Dirty Breeze, Smitty Burger, Man Jensen, Make Advertisement, Diego Garcia, JJ Just Make Begins, I Am An Idiot, Harvard Smith at the Chin, Ono Justin, Randwood, 21, Extended Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, Negative Grieve, Joe Taku, Poop, P, Bang, Cat Chickens, and Raw Mega 182, Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, Westa, Bill 310 Char, Rob C, Veg Group, Current Alice, Pack, Scrum Master, Jet Ski. It's actually a Jote Ski, except sad jet ski noises, because I'm sad, and it's sad. Oh, goodness. Ripperoni Bungie, okay, Toodles.